How are you? Welcome to the 6th episode of the LightySportsPod. Thanks for joining us again. If you guys have been liking this, give us a like, give us a subscribe, whatever. And then just a reminder, if you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments or shoot me a message, whatever's easier for you, and we'd love to answer them. We did get one question this week from my grandpa Mike. He wants to know when we're going to be talking hockey. We may during the NFL offseason.
Mike, that's for you.
Yeah, I'm not a Leaf fan. We don't support that. But we might be doing some hockey during the NFL offseason if the NFL offseason is slow or whatever. But yeah, we'll see. This past weekend, obviously, we had the Super Bowl. Kansas City Chiefs, congrats, 2 years in a row. They beat the 49ers 25-22 in overtime. Only the second overtime ever in Super Bowl history. Fun fact. Yeah. Could have almost been the first ever double overtime game.
Yeah.
But
everyone got confused there, right? They did the first quarter and then a second quarter, and then everyone's, they're all thinking, well, you got to get on the ball. Get on. Not the players, but the fans. You can see it.
Yeah.
And they're all rushing.
Well, you had Juice Check come out after saying he had no idea what the overtime rules were in the playoffs. And I don't think Fred Warner did either, because I don't know why they wouldn't have deferred in the overtime. But that's been the big talk of the week.
I thought KC won the toss.
No, San Fran won the toss and they accepted to receive first, even though if they would have scored, let's say KC scores a touchdown on the first shot, they could have tied it up, because in the playoffs, apparently, both teams get the ball at least once, and they didn't even know the rules.
Oh,
which is bad.
Yeah, that's bad, because you want to defer, because the other team goes, what they done, and then you know what you have. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really bad.
Are you sure KC didn't win the toss?
No, Fred Warner did. And then the ref even asked, "Are you sure you want to take the ball first?"
Oh, seriously?
And he said, "Yeah, we want first."
Oh.
And they got right off the field. Yeah. It's been talked about all week on Twitter, on TV and stuff. Everybody's been questioning that. But going into the week, we'll avoid talking about that too much. We'll get into the actual game itself. But before the week, I had Rashee Rice being my player to watch. And he was relatively quiet, I gotta say. I was shocked by that, because I really thought Fred Warner was going to be all over Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce had a big game. He started slow first half. I think Kelce might have had one catch.
He did.
Second half, though, he was the guy. I thought Rashee Rice was in for a big one. I think he had maybe 30 yards receiving, so that was a bit of a bad take. But
I had Fred Warner having a good game. And
yeah,
he had a good first half, but not a good second half.
Yeah, he did. And then obviously for me, that team defense, honestly, both teams defensively, despite the 25-22 is a bit of it's not a high scoring game, but relative to the score, I thought the defenses actually played really well. One thing that I really loved about Kansas City's defense, actually, Kansas City forced the Niners to stop running in the second half. I don't know if you noticed that, but in the third quarter, CMC wasn't running the ball at all, and that's because of Steve Spagnuolo. He is a genius. He ended up drawing something completely different up where they were forced to throw, and it didn't work for them. Shout out Spags. He's a Hall of Famer. It's now his fourth Super Bowl as a defensive coordinator. So he had one with the Giants, and he has three with KC now. He's the only coordinator ever to have it with two different teams, a Super Bowl with two different teams. Good work there. Chris Jones also showed up. He had four QB hits or 4 QB hurries from the defensive tackle position, which is great.
Does he cry every time they sing national anthem?
No, I think it was just Super Bowl emotions.
He did it in Baltimore too.
I don't know. I didn't see it in Baltimore, but I know last year the Eagles head coach cried during the national anthem.
Oh, did he?
Nick Sirianni. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So
wow.
I don't know. That was my take on the game. Thought it was a good game. I thought the defenses played really well.
Yeah, I thought the first half was kind of sloppy. It wasn't. I was expecting more. Maybe the hype was, 2Ds played good in the first half, but it was mistakes, right? A few, on the kickoff and and whatnot. But second half was great. Second half was good ball. That was good ball, right? Good ball. I did a bet first half saying Niners would beat the spread and KC would beat the spread in the second half, because I knew, like you said, the coach, right? He'll come up with a script, and and sure enough, that hit. I didn't hit on the over and under. I went under, based off your advice from the previous week. But
yeah, so originally the over under was 40.5, and I made that bet too. I did like a little parlay, and I looked like right before the game, and my parlay automatically updated without me going and doing it, which kind of annoyed me, to 47.5. So the line actually jumped like 7 full points. So I covered that. I didn't win the parlay because I had something else wrong. But I thought that was interesting. Did you do any any of the fun bets, like the Gatorade color, stuff like that? Oh, I threw $1 on. I threw $1 on orange. I also thought
the Gatorade color.
Yeah.
When they throw it on the coach at the end.
Yeah, you bet on the Gatorade color. Everybody does it every year. You never done that?
Dude, no.
Oh, I've been doing that for like 5-6 years now, I think.
Oh wow! And through FanDuel or what?
Yeah. Yeah. There was also another one. It's under the I can't remember what the heading actually is, but there was another one too. I actually bet $2. This is funny. I bet $2 that Travis Kelce, if they won the Super Bowl after the game, would propose to Taylor Swift. I know it sounds silly. They've only been dating for like 3 or 4 months, but the payout, the $2 payout would have paid me like $16, and like just looking at Travis Kelce, no offense, Travis, just kind of seems like he's got like meathead vibes. And I thought like he would just do something kind of crazy, and the world would be talking about it. But that didn't happen.
Are we gonna talk about his brother?
Yeah, Jason's cool. Yeah, Jason had quite a few.
Peace for him, man. That's
pops.
Just wow.
Yeah, he had quite a few drinks.
He showed up looking guy from Hangover off the airplane, like exact. Even the belly, the little belly showing.
Oh yeah.
And then the post party there, when he had the luchador.
Luchador mask.
Yeah, he was up on the stage.
It was actually funny. I was watching their podcast yesterday, and Travis was asking Jason what his wife thought of his dance moves and how he was acting. And his wife hopped on the pod in the background. She didn't show face or anything, but she was yelling. She said, one, she wasn't surprised that Jason wore a lucha mask and was as drunk as he was. Two, then Jason came back and said, like, you weren't surprised I wore the lucha mask all night. I didn't wear it all night. And she said, yes, you did literally wear it the entire night. And then they started getting into his dance moves and stuff. And she said that he only has 3 dance moves. She didn't say what the third dance move was. One is hip thrusts, apparently. And he was trying to defend, no, this wasn't a hip thrust. This was a belly thrust. I had more belly involved this time. And the other is stomps. Yeah, he apparently just stomps as he's about to get going. Apparently, so she said, this whole weekend, the stomps didn't come out once, because usually the stomps are kind of like you're casually drinking, you're not too hard, but you're like getting into it, and then you get drunk. Apparently, this is what happens with him. But apparently, he skipped the whole like stomping phase because he just went straight to drunk. Like, he was incoherent right away, so he didn't even get his famous stomp dance move in. So she was on the pod. It was really funny. New Heights. I really recommend you guys watch that episode at least, because it was really funny.
I'm gonna have to do that this weekend now.
Yeah.
But he kept his clothes on at least.
Yeah, he kept his shirt on. I think the whole time. But yeah.
Classic.
You want to talk about the halftime show?
I do. Where's Bree's on here today? So
no.
What was the expert's take on it?
She didn't like it.
No.
Neither did a lot of our audience. I did a poll this week. Most people voted meh, whatever, or no. I think I got like 4 yeses. Like the votes were pretty skewed. I liked the guests though. They had some cool guests. Like Will.i.am was there from Black Eyed Peas.
Okay, okay. Yeah. The Big Fro. Yeah.
No, the Big Fro was Ludacris.
Oh, that was Ludacris.
Yeah, Ludacris.
I gotta get out more.
Lil Jon was cool.
Is that the guy with the big glasses?
He's the guy that always yells, yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then Alicia Keys was the girl.
Yeah.
I thought Lil Jon was fun. I thought Ludacris was fun. I saw Ludacris at Blues Fest last year. He's pretty good. Yeah, it was I didn't like the show. I just thought it was kind of like meh compared to previous years.
Yeah, well,
But I like the guests. I think getting guests on there is always fun because people are excited to see who shows up.
I thought Justin was gonna show, but
I know he is like I think he's performing still, but I know he is suffering from like a health scare. I'm pretty sure he had like Lyme disease.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into the celebrity game, but I'm pretty sure he had Lyme disease or something like that.
He was in the post party. I saw a picture of him in the post party. You know, he didn't have a shirt on, rocking the tats, and showing the ink and whatnot. But yeah, whatever. I didn't know he's sick though, but my take was he's no Michael Jackson. Like, come on, like he tried to do a little dancing and like, come on, man, like MJ's the best.
Usher is an icon, but I thought it was meh. The thing I hated actually the most is the first like 4 or 5 songs he did were songs I didn't even know, and I know like I probably know like only 4 or 5, maybe 6 Usher songs or whatever.
Yeah, you didn't.
But like, no, the last 2 or 3, or 3 songs that they played were good. Like they fired me up. Like Yeah was good. OMG was fun. But otherwise it was meh for me.
Wow, it wasn't like I like the roller skating thing. Actually, I thought that was pretty cool. It's classic. He almost fell, which was funny. But
one of the girls on the poles in the background fell. I don't know if you caught that on TV. I don't know if it was staged or not, because the girl at the very back also kind of looked like she fell, but one girl on the pole like looked like she just got smoked.
Yeah.
I saw that on Twitter.
Well, that's enough of Usher though.
But let's forget the halftime show.
Well,
I do want to update everybody on our picks for the playoffs. Not surprisingly, I won. I went 9-4 on my guesses. He went 7-6. So I will be requesting some alcoholic beverages.
All right, 2 things. I started 6-2, and I finished 7-6. So I came out hot, and then failed in the end. But
never bet against the Chiefs.
Apparently,
I didn't bet against the Chiefs once, and that's why I went 9-4.
Yeah, well, I bet against them. I think every time.
I think he bet against the Bills.
Oh, I bet the Chiefs against Miami. That was the only time I took the Chiefs.
Right.
And I took the Bills, of course.
Yeah.
Right. And I took Baltimore, of course.
Yeah.
And then I took San Fran. So the Chiefs killed me.
Yeah. Go Chiefs.
And what kind of beer do you want? Come on.
Right? I want Coors Seltzers. I'm not a big beer guy anymore. It's vodka based. I prefer vodka.
It's not a beer, right?
Okay. Fine. If you want to get me a beer, you can get me a beer. But that was my request.
All right. Fine.
Anyways, jumping off next to the NFL awards again, something that I pretty much got all right. So the Browns, shout out my boys. We had a perfect 4 for 4 on the awards that they were nominated. We had a clean sweep. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. I'm going to get into that in a second because Riley wants to know if
TJ Watt.
If TJ Watt was robbed. He wasn't. I'll explain why. Joe Flacco, Comeback Player of the Year. Coach Stefanski,
played 4 games.
5 games.
He was a bench on the 5th.
No, he went 4-1 as a starter in the regular season. Anyways, also deserving, led them to the playoffs. Without him, we weren't making the playoffs. Kevin Stefanski, Coach of the Year, and Jim Schwartz, Assistant Coach of the Year. I'll get into Myles now. Okay, so why was Myles the Defensive Player of the Year? Watt had 27 more snaps at defensive end than Myles did. Okay. Yet only had a 25% win rate and only was doubled 14% of the time. These are actually important. These are the 2 most important stats of defensive ends that the NFL looks at. Like, unbiasedly, this is actually 2 numbers that they look at the most, typically. Okay? Box scores are not everything. Myles was the bigger disruptor based on this and helped the team win his games more. Like, he was big. Myles had a 30% win rate and was doubled 29% of the time, compared to 25 and 14. That is a huge discrepancy. Not only this, but he was also voted the Defensive Player of the Year by Pro Football Writers of America, by PFF, and by the players. So does that mean everybody who actually is around the game, has a say on the game, were wrong? I don't think so. Myles was the better player. The last 6 of the games of the year, I understand he didn't get a sack. He still had those good supporting numbers, and he wasn't finishing probably because he has a torn shoulder. probably going for surgery in the offseason. So, because everybody else in the NFL agrees that he was the defensive player of the year, and based on my numbers, I think it was Miles. But if anybody else has other opinions, I'm perfectly fine with those other opinions. I think TJ had a great season, but I think those numbers and just the pure fact that everybody voting in the NFL seemed to like Miles, like you can't really argue against that whether you want to or not.
Can I do this? Can I put everything you just said in the chat? Let Riley respond to it.
Riley constantly responds to it. I have no problem talking to Riley.
Okay, I'm gonna put in the chat. Riley, Kirk, can you?
Hey, these are facts, man. Anyways, offensive rookie of the year, obviously CJ Stroud. Shout out Puka Nacua though. I mean, you put up like the. Yeah, it's good. You put up like literally the greatest wide receiver rookie season ever, and you don't win. That sucks.
What was he? He was a late pick too, right?
Yeah. Apparently, he also played high school football with Dana White's kid, and he calls Dana White Uncle Dana White from UFC.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Defensive rookie of the year. This was actually the only award that I was wrong on out of all of my predictions. Just saying. Defensive rookie of the year. Will Anderson. Going back and looking at his numbers, I had Jalen Carter originally, but going back and looking at Will Anderson's numbers, I actually do think Will Anderson deserved it. He was like a top 3 rush defending guy in the entire league, and he plays defensive end, and he still finished with 7 sacks, which is really good for a rookie. So Will Anderson, good job. Offensive player of the year, obviously, was CMC, and then MVP, come on, like I've been saying every week, Lamar. And then a big congrats to the Walter Payton Award winner, Cam Hayward. I know I hate the Steelers, but dude's a good dude. He gets all the respect in the world from me, helping a bunch of kids. I know he was talking about it on at the award ceremony. I think he lost his father younger. So he was younger. So he's kind of helping kids that are going through the same thing.
So actually, that's probably the best award you mentioned.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So,
well, it's the one that they honor last at the awards ceremony.
Yeah,
too.
and respect, right?
Yeah.
Like, these players make millions of dollars, and the ones that go back to the community, like, nothing but respect, right? Yeah. That's
Myles Garrett won that one last year, by the way.
Yeah.
He was big in the community. I think he donated or was helping donate. I think he was helping with building houses and donating money to Africa or something like that was what Myles did. I can't remember exactly. I should remember that though.
See, I volunteered coaching for hockey, baseball, everything, like even on the associate, like doing stuff like that back in the community. Nothing but respect for people that do that, right? You don't get paid.
Yeah.
All right, you don't get paid. So, and you're volunteering your hours. So, right here, man. That's.
Good job, Cam Hayward.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hopefully too. I think he's got a couple of brothers. I think they're involved with it as well. So hopefully they keep at it too. Yeah, his brother's a fullback for the Steelers too.
Oh.
Maybe tight end. I think he's tight end. I think Derek Watt. TJ's brother is the fullback, but Cam's brother is a tight end, Connor Hayward. Yeah. Anyways, so I hope everybody enjoyed the Super Bowl.
Congrats, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I just want to throw it out there again. I got every award pick correct except for defensive rookie of the year. Not a big deal. Hope you guys enjoyed the NFL season. We'll try and keep up with coverage as far as like off-season signings.
Yeah, it's gonna be quiet.
News.
It's gonna be quiet for a month.
Yeah, even when it's quiet though, in the NFL it's not. There's always some kind of dramas spewing or stuff like that. Like there was a couple cuts already. Jimmy Garoppolo got cut. Eddie Jackson out in Chicago, good safety, he got cut today.
Oh wow.
Those were kind of expected though. I think Eddie he's 30 years old. I think he was expected like 10 million in cap or something next year. So. Okay. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching the football stuff. We'll move on to MLB now. So this week there was a couple newsworthy
pitchers and catchers reported. Everyone was in Tuesday, Wednesday this week.
Yeah. Before we talk MLB news, I'm gonna talk about something from spring training. What the heck is Fanatics doing with the jerseys? The MLB players are thinking of like saying, hey, like we're not gonna play unless you get us like our old jerseys back. Because Fanatics correct me if I'm wrong, they might not have bought Nike, but they're partnering with Nike. They made the jerseys this year, and awful. Like they look like rip-offs from last year. It looks like the ones that you buy for $10 online from like illegal sites.
Seriously?
Like bad. There's one picture of Justin Verlander's name bar. It's only like what 9 letters. The V starts at his like lower shoulder here and curls all the way to down here. Like it's like a giant.
And this is a big thing.
Yeah, like the players got to their stalls yesterday and saw their jerseys and were like, "What the heck is this? This is terrible. I have to wear this." Like they're so ugly and cheap looking.
First of all, I didn't know.
The Seattle Mariners jerseys, you know how the emblem is like stitched on and it pops out?
Yeah.
Guess what? It's not like that anymore. It's flattened and it's part of the jersey. Like it looks terrible. It looks cheap. Like it's not even sewn on. It's not like a pop out.
Wow.
It's like, it's bad. Fanatics is in trouble. And they should be.
Anyway, and this is all over X or what?
Yeah. The players are complaining about it. The fans are complaining about it.
It's an easy fix, though.
Yeah, get rid of Fanatics. Fanatics is also making NHL jerseys, and the new NHL jerseys are awful. Awful.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the ones that you can buy at the team store, brutal. Anyway, some real MLB news. That was just my complaint about the
That was a rant, eh?
Yeah, I like rants. Rants are fun. MLB news. Twins traded for former high-end prospect, shortstop, kind of more of a utility guy, Nick Gordon. He was terrible in 34 games last year. Don't even need to pull up the stats. They're bad. But he was pretty decent the year before. And to the Marlins for left-handed pitcher Steven Okert, who was also really bad last year. He had a 4.45 ERA, but the year before he had a 2.98 ERA. So I think it's a perfectly fine trade for both teams. Makes sense to the Marlins, who are looking for some infield depth and a little bit more help with the bat.
Like Gordon went to arbitration. I'm trying to remember if he won or lost. He did.
Yeah.
With Minnie, and I think that's the reason why they traded him right after.
Yeah.
He's speed. He's quick. His dad was what's his face?
Tom Flash Gordon.
Yeah, Tom Flash Gordon. I know he pitched for the Red Sox. He might have been with the Expos even.
Yeah. And then his brother D was really fast.
Oh, D was quick. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
I remember he was with Miami too, right?
Yeah. Played with Miami. Played with the Dodgers.
Yeah, Nick's whatever. He'll play second base, cover everywhere, sort of idea. They still need a shortstop though, and Miami, and he's not gonna.
Like this is a bit of a mad trade on the surface, but I just wanted to touch on. I think Nick Gordon's a good buy for just a regular left-handed relief pitcher. So I think that's a good move for Miami. Moving on, we got San Fran Giants signed my boy Jorge Soler to a 3-year, $42 million deal. What a signing! Great signing.
Well, he got the money and the time.
But we can move on from him because we talk about him every week. After Ohtani, he was my top target. He didn't get the money, in my opinion. I think he was worth more.
What did he get? 40?
He got 3 years, 42. MLB trade rumors actually before the off season started projected 3 by 45. So I mean, it's close enough.
It's close.
It's close, I know. But I think Soler.
He just signed and they're in camp.
Yeah, I think so. Like because of how late the signing came, I'm not surprised at this price.
Yeah.
But I would have priced them higher going into the season if I thought that the off season would have been quicker and a little bit more active. I probably would have pegged him around 3 by 50 to 55. I am very high on him. His power is great. He walks a lot. He's going to drive in a lot of runs. He's what you want in the middle of your lineup. I think that was a really good get for the Giants. You need, especially San Fran, it's hard to hit home runs as is. So to be able to buy power, I think that'll help a lot.
Yeah, he's big. He's real big.
Yeah. Pirates signed catcher Yasmani Grandal to a 1-year, $2.5 million deal. He sucked last year. He had 118 games. He had a minus .7 WAR. He still has some power. He had 8 home runs in his 118 games. He sucked last year, but I actually don't mind this signing only because it's a good veteran signing for a catcher needy team because their top prospect Henry Davis is probably moving to the outfield. And then their other top prospect, Andy Rodriguez, is out for the entire year with some elbow issues. So I don't think that's a bad signing. Very Pittsburgh Pirates signing. Pirates love the 1 year to $2 to $4 million guys.
And if he's doing good, they'll trade him at the trade deadline. Yeah. That's what they do.
Yeah, they're just buying time until their prospects and everybody's ready.
Grandal hasn't been good since he left the Dodgers, right?
He had a couple good years with the White Sox.
Did he?
Yeah, his first or second year.
I don't think he's hit over 220 in a while.
Yeah, I don't think he ever really hit over 220 though. He was a power hitting catcher with good defensive metrics. But
yeah, his defensive metrics are good.
I think they took a toll last year. I don't think they were as good last year. I think formerly he was a good catcher, but yeah. Blue Jays. This is awful. I don't even want to talk about this one. The Blue Jays signed infielder Eduardo Escobar. It is a minor league deal, so.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't break camp with the team, because if I have to see this guy manning third base for us this year, even at all, I'm gonna lose my mind, man. This is the worst Blue Jays offseason ever, like bar none. We miss out on Shohei. We miss out on every other top guy. We sign a bunch of cheap bums. I probably shouldn't say that. Cheap players. I don't want the Blue Jays coming for me. Bunch of cheap players that don't move the needle at all. We didn't make it out of the first round last year. We're not going to make it out of the first round this year with the team that we're bringing back. Did absolutely nothing.
Are they holding back though? Like, we're going to go through a list here, hopefully near the end, with all the open free agents.
They said yesterday that
when you get to this timeline so close to, like, the deals start to, the price tag comes down.
I know, but the GM Ross Atkins said yesterday that he didn't say the word trade, because he kind of beats around the bush a little bit when he's talking to media.
He's a GM. What do you expect?
They do that. But he said that in order to get somebody, they're going to have to subtract, aka the only way they're getting anybody this offseason or into spring training is if it's through trade. They're not going to sign anybody to major league contracts, which sucks, because there's still a decent amount of like okay guys out there on the market, just because the market was slow. But not a good offseason. Not happy about it.
What's your take on the Springer deal?
I was fine with it at the time. I still am. Like I'm still okay with it because he does still provide power and stuff. It's just a matter of health with George.
Well, they bring in Turner as a veteran presence.
Yeah, that's fine.
Why isn't Springer that?
He is that. You can't just have one veteran. I don't like the Justin Turner signing either. But I don't think they signed him because of veteran presence. I think they signed him because they looked at his numbers last year. He had 25 home runs and 90 RBIs, and Ross Atkins just thought, hey, this guy's 39 years old. We can get him at 1 year, and he'll maybe produce the same. I don't think it was about leadership.
Oh, I thought it was all about leadership.
No, he like Justin Turner had a good year last year. It's just not what I wanted the team to do. Like he's not a bad hitter. Like he's still a good hitter. He is. It's just we need to aim higher than a 39-year-old getting a 1-year deal. That's been my beef. My beef isn't the talent of Justin Turner. If it was any other offseason and we weren't rumored to Shohei Ohtani and all these great things and told like, hey, this is a potential World Series team. If we were a fringe playoff team and we signed Justin Turner to a 1-year, $13 million deal, he was our only signing, I would have been happy. Honestly, I would have been. But it's the fact that we expect so much because they tell us like this team's going to be a World Series contender, and then you go out and do nothing.
Well,
that's my beef.
You have Toronto media, right? Like, dude.
I don't like Toronto media either. But anyways, bad offseason. Eduardo Escobar, like, just gross. And we'll get into some MLB rumors. Orioles have shown interest in a left-handed pitcher from the Marlins, Jesus Luzardo, which makes a lot of sense because Bradish, one of their star pitchers, now suffering from a strained UCL, which is usually an indication of Tommy John. He did say that he's not getting surgery. He plans on pitching. He is still doing light tossing. He doesn't think he'll be ready for opening day, but he thinks he'll pitch within the first month. So he's kind of going the Masahiro Tanaka way back in the day. He's the only guy that I can remember opting out of Tommy John surgery and pitching effectively for multiple years. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but Jesus Luzardo sounds like a great fit.
Well, okay. So pitchers and catchers reported this week, and he shows up, and he's got an arm problem.
Yeah. So does John Means.
Oh, so is John Means too?
Yeah. Well, he had Tommy John last year. He pitched like the last month of the season, I think, and his arms.
Like Bradish was their ace last year, and Means was their ace year before.
And Gunnar Henderson's hurt too. A bunch of guys came to camp in Baltimore hurt. I think there was like 4 or 5 different guys in the news yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah, Gunnar Henderson was one of them.
Okay, so.
Wait, was it Gunnar Henderson or? No, it was Gunnar. I think Gunnar came to camp hurt. There was a few guys.
All right, so there's a sign right there. I don't know who the trainer is there. Not the trainer, but the professional.
Yeah.
Okay, dude.
Monitor your play.
Like when you got 4 or 5 showing up in camp and they're already.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, there was a few of them. It was all over the place yesterday.
Oh yeah, just or everywhere.
No, just Baltimore. Like Baltimore got hit hard yesterday. I don't think anybody else did. Like the news was all about Baltimore injuries yesterday. Blue Jays aren't interested in moving Alek Manoah and expect him to be in the 2024 rotation. I'm all right with this, honestly, because like if he's anything like he was 2 years ago and he gets his stuff back, he'll be elite. But last year was a disaster. I know he came into the season last year well out of shape. That was a big cause for concern, and it showed. Like he was getting tired an inning or two into his games and getting lit up.
Mm-hmm.
His numbers were awful. We even sent him down. But
he even got lit up down.
Yeah, but he came to camp this year in shape. It looks like he's like I saw videos yesterday. It looked like he dropped like 50 to 75 pounds. Like he looks pretty good. So I'm willing. Look, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that he worked hard this offseason and he's going to come back and pitch really well. But if that's not the case, you have to move quickly. Like if he comes into like even like I'll give him 3 to 5 starts at the beginning of the year. By start 5, if his ERA is over 4, I'm moving off of him and I'm finding some help right away for that rotation.
Yeah, see, I don't put anything in the spring training stats, but you know that.
I'm not talking spring training.
I know that regular season. So if he's fine, if he's 1 month in, he's got 5, 6 starts under him, and he's lighting the radar, and his stuff is looking good, then fine. But he is a first round pick from a few years back, and they're not going to give up on him.
Yeah.
But
yeah, okay. I agree.
I'm glad he showed up in shape.
I think his stuff is really good. Like it is. He has got a nice slider. He's got good fastball. I think he just needed to work on his diet a little bit, and that'll help. He'll get more longevity. He'll might get a little bit more speed on his pitches. Who knows? The Miami Marlins have offered shortstop, maybe second baseman. He might move to second base. There was a lot of talk about that. Tim Anderson, a contract. He was really bad last year, but before then he was pretty good. Had a few solid to elite years. I think this would be a really good buy low.
Agree. I think Tim Anderson, in Chicago, he had 3 or 4 elite years there, and I'm heavy in NFBC, and he was a top 5 round pick, during those years. Like he's not even being drafted now. So.
I'm almost wondering, this is a good debate. Do we think that him going to the World Baseball Classic before spring training last year might have messed his groove up or something? It didn't most other players. It doesn't seem like something that should be the case, but he was so good then all of a sudden fell off a cliff. It was right after he played for Team USA at the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, I know. Well, he played second base during it.
I don't know.
So he didn't play short.
Yeah, maybe just like an extended spring training didn't do something well for him.
I could see pitching to that effects, but
that's what I mean. Like I don't see how it should affect him, but it just makes me think because he was so good, and then
the whole White Sox team,
such a drop off.
The whole White Sox team was awful last year.
Yeah, but it was just it was such a drop off. Like it was shocking to me.
He might. I have to go look. Was he hurt last year? He might have had some injuries last year.
I think he had a couple injuries, but I don't think they sparked up until the second half of the year.
Oh, okay.
Might have been some IL play there too because he wasn't playing well. One more thing. This isn't even a rumor, but I want to go back to our debate last week about Bo Bichette because you said that he was subpar / average fielding shortstop, and we were comparing him to Bobby Witt Jr. After I looked up his numbers,
I got a text in about an hour after last week's podcast.
He did. I wasn't expecting to go on the Bo Bichette rampage.
At least they weren't caps.
So
they were lowercase at least. You weren't yelling.
No yelling. So I didn't have the stats open because we weren't expecting to have a Bo Bichette debate. But after looking it up, I should have already known this. But he had a DRS, so defensive run saved, of 5 last year, which is
really good.
Which is very good. Okay. he also only had 8 errors in 135 games. Bo Bichette is the most disrespected shortstop in baseball, especially from a defensive standpoint. I will say, 2 years ago, he was terrible at shortstop. But last year, he came into camp, he worked on it all offseason, and he was great to elite at shortstop. Like Bobby Witt Jr., though, okay, he had a -6 DRS, which is like basically the bottom of the entire league. One of the worst defensive shortstops in the league. And he's getting $288 million over 10 years. Bo Bichette had a WAR, wins above replacement, of 4.9, and Bobby Witt had a 4.4. So what are we talking about? Bo Bichette is just as valuable as Bobby Witt. He won't get the same contract because he's not quite as young. He's a couple years older. But the Jays need to get on this, man. Like, that is valuable. 4.5. You know how most GMs analyze like WAR? If they're worth 4.9, typically it's $10 million per WAR. Oh. So obviously this is slightly flawed. Nobody's going to give Bo Bichette $50 million a year probably. Nope. But from an analytical perspective, that's how much he's actually worth. Yeah, each WAR. So one WAR is typically worth $10 million. So that's why, like, for example, Jorge Soler last year had a WAR of 2. That's why I thought he would have been as just a hitter only. That's how valuable his bat was, man. That's why I think he should have been worth $20 million a year, not just whatever it was, like 11 or 12 or whatever.
I got it.
So that's my take on.
So you need to talk to everyone else in the baseball world then, because they interviewed John Schneider yesterday, and the first question they asked him, how was Bo Bichette's defense this year? Did he show up in camp ready to play D?
Well, I think that I will say this. I think that first of all, that reporter didn't watch him play a single game of baseball last year. If he's asking him if his fielding needs to be better, because the statistics John literally prove that they were good to elite last year. 2, that would have been a question for last offseason, not this offseason, because 2 years ago he was bad at shortstop. He was, but he fixed all of that, and I expect that to continue.
So he's not getting the respect he deserves.
I don't think he's getting the respect he deserves. I won't say he's a $288 million guy like Bobby Witt, but I think he's pretty darn close. And the only reason why Bobby Witt would be getting paid more is because the Blue Jays didn't do this 2 to 3 years ago when they should have when he was a couple years younger, when he was around the same age.
Okay.
Anyways, that's that.
Am I going to get a text later on tonight on this?
No.
Okay.
No. Do you want to go over the remaining free agents and where you think they'll go, and I'll let you know whether I think they're a fit or not, too?
Sure. First one, and I'm surprised he hasn't gone anywhere yet, is Blake Snell.
Yeah, I can't believe he hasn't signed anywhere.
So, where do you think he's going?
I'd have to look at like all of the rosters off the top of my head. I didn't do this research part. I thought you were running this. I was just going to tell you whether I think it's a good fit or not.
Well, I think he's going to Cubbies. I think he's going to probably get 3 to 4.
I can
3 to 4 years, probably, I don't know, 120, 100 million.
Yeah.
Cubs need him.
I thought he was going to go for over $200 million at the beginning of the offseason, but obviously that's not happening now because we're so close to spring training. I think the prices kind of have to drop. He is Scott Boras' client though, and he doesn't typically lower his price, so this could be a long waiting period. I do see the fit with Chicago. I guess he would start probably. They have a starting 5: Justin Steele, Jamison Tyone, who was bad last year, showed it in Monaga, Kyle Hendricks, and Jordan Wicks. I actually don't mind the top 4. Jordan Wicks was a former first-round pick. You could probably slide him out. Yeah, I like that fit. I'm fine with that.
I like Snell going to Cubbies. I think he's gonna sign there. Cubs could take that division. Milwaukee's not good. Cincinnati Reds are really good, but
I still want Blake Snell. It's probably not going to happen. I still want Blake Snell to go to Seattle, because it's his home. And imagine that rotation. Oh my! It's already the best top 3 in the game.
I think they have a top 5 already.
You throw in Blake Snell. It's over.
They have what? Wu and Miller there too.
Yeah, and
Castillo. We already talked about Kirby.
And Emerson Hancock too.
Yeah, no.
But I just want to see that starting 5 be like that good, like way better.
My next guy is Jordan Montgomery. I got him going back to Texas.
No, it's not happening. Chris Young said yesterday that the Rangers are not going to be adding any more major league talent before the regular season started. starts, so I'm out on that.
Scherzer and DeGrom are not pitching in the first half.
That's fine, man. I'm taking the word of the GM. He says that there's not going to be any additions. Basically, what that tells me is Jordan Montgomery priced himself out.
Michael Lorenzen.
Yeah, I like him.
I like him going to Baltimore now after that news.
Yeah,
1 year deal in Baltimore.
I can see Baltimore making a lot of sense.
He's a 1 year guy.
So I like him there. It makes sense. Bradish is going to be hurt, and John Means isn't going to start. So I could see Lorenzen being an upgrade over the likes of Cole Irvin. I think Tyler Wells is actually better than Michael Lorenzen, but but his issue is longevity. Like as a starter last year, he was really good, but they had to cut off his innings because he's not known for pitching a ton. But Tyler Wells was really good last year.
All right, my last pitcher, I got Ryu going to the Yankees. 1 year deal.
I don't like that one. I don't like Ryu in that hitter's
There's questions with Cortez, questions with Rodon.
There is, but they spent so much money on those guys. I don't think you can bump either one of them from the rotation.
And who's the fifth guy? Schmidt
is really good. They have Cole, they have Rodon, they have Stroman, they have Schmidt, and they have Cortez. That five to me is fine. I don't think they need to add a guy that will probably give up a lot of home runs in Yankee Park. But
I heard Rodon. He came into camp on January 1st, and apparently came into camp good.
I know something personal happened to him. He did a post on Instagram asking for prayers. So hope
seriously?
everything's okay. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. He hasn't said anything else. He just asked, hey, like my family needs prayers in this time. That's all. So best of luck, Rodon. But I don't think Ryu's a fit there.
Depends on Cortez and Rodon, but
I just think that both those guys got paid so much that they can't move them out of a starting job.
You need more than 5 starters.
Rodon will not lose a starting rotation either.
I'm just saying you need more than 5 starters.
Yeah, but they've got some good young guys in the minors too that they can move up.
I'll go quickly. Cody Bellinger. I got him going back to the Cubbies again.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I do too.
You know, I think he's going to get probably his 5-year deal too. I really do.
I agree. I think he's a Cub.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be a Cub.
Hold on. Let me check. Yeah, I'll play over Mike Tauchman for sure.
Oh yeah.
Even at first base, Michael Bush probably slide in there.
They have Bush playing first. There?
Yeah, he's gonna be first. They already said that he's gonna be their first baseman over Matt Mervis.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why they got him.
Wow. Okay. And Chappie?
I think he's a giant.
I think he's a giant too. JD Martinez. I think he's going to probably sign maybe a 1-year deal with the Rays. I like the Rays. The Rays need a lot of stuff going on. Like that's a young team.
I like the fit, but I don't see it just because the Rays are so cheap. Even if it's a 1-year deal, if you look at their arbitration this offseason, they've been like sending requests for like well under what the players are asking for. Like it's obvious they're cutting money as they always do. That's what the Rays do. They'll trade you when the arbitration number gets a little too high.
I think he would be great in that clubhouse. Like if they got the 2 kids are going to play at third and short, right?
Well, Caballero's going to be at short. They already named him the starting shortstop.
Well, where's Meade? Meade going to play third?
Meade will play third, yeah.
And then the kid there, what's his name?
Well, Manzardo got traded. Camanero's supposed to be a shortstop.
Oh, okay.
Junior Caminero from the minors, top prospect.
Yeah, he's playing short. Okay, gotcha.
He's supposed to be a shortstop.
Thank you.
He might slide to second though too. Who knows?
Oh, he won't. Brandon Lau's at second.
Yeah, Brandon Lau can play the outfield a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Brandon Lau has bad back anyway, so don't take him in pools. Just let you know he has a bad back. My last guy, and I love this guy, Whit Merrifield. I think he's going with the Phillies. I think he's going to sign with the Phillies in the next 24 hours.
I think Whit Merrifield fits pretty much anywhere. I won't go crazy and say I love him. Like he was a good Blue Jay.
Was on the All-Star game.
Some of his metrics weren't great. He'd go through phases. Always has good bat to ball stuff. He's fast. He's getting older.
What is he? 30.
He's like 35, 36.
Yeah, something like that.
But his versatility is valuable, so I think he can play on pretty much any team. He can sign anywhere. Philly's one of them.
He will sign with the Phillies.
And it's coming soon. I think he's getting signed this weekend. And he apparently has offers from 5 to 6 different teams. So take that as you will.
Good to have ball back, though. Let me tell
But
you.
yeah, spring training's back and that's exciting.
We haven't been down. You and I've been spring training how many times now? 3, 4 times?
Well, we went to a game in Sarasota for Baltimore. We went to Dunedin for the Jays. We went to Key West.
But how many years
for
though?
the Red Sox?
3 or 4 years.
And we went to Bradenton for the Pirates.
We went there a couple times.
No, only once. We went to Dunedin twice.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
That Braden ballpark was.
I like the Sarasota one too, where the Orioles played.
Oh yeah, that was nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it for this podcast. If you guys wanted to give us a like and subscribe, as always, that'd be appreciated.
Peace.
If you guys have any questions too, fire away in the chats, in the comments. Message me and boo Leafs boo. They suck.
You got 5 games. Like seriously?
Well deserved. The Riddler's the man. Go Ridley Gray. Take
Peace.
care. Have a good one.